Is Ricky Barnett, and this will be the tutorial for the RILM, or RILM, musical database. This is an extremely important resource for music research at all levels, so we're going to execute a few sample searches, and I'm going to quickly go through and demonstrate the different functionalities of this particular database. To begin, you're going to find the database within the university's electronic catalog by going to databases. We can simply type in RILM and initiate the search, and it will be the only search result that you find. I've already brought this up in my other window, so I'm just going to start here with a new search, but you will be prompted to log in. And a quick overview, what we're going to learn today in this tutorial is how to develop effective search terms and research techniques to begin your research, to understand the basic functions of the database's interface, understand Boolean search operators, use special features of the database, and how to search for terms within the database's index. So now that we have gotten to RILM, we're first going to do a quick tour of what we see here. So as you can see, we have multiple search bars here. This is unlike web searching. We have some very important tools across the top blue menu here. If you would like to sign into your EBSCO account, that is possible. The credentials will not be the same, but you can create them to be the same. We have our folders, language, preferences, and as I said, these are the indexes to the database that we will touch on in just a second. I will note, if you find yourself with only one search bar, you're actually on the basic search interface. We want to be on the advanced search because we're going to be using some advanced settings to help you. Now we're just going to execute a simple search. So in one of your music classes, probably history, you're going to be required at some point in your undergraduate career to use a database to find scholarly articles, which are, as you can imagine, articles, books written by professors, researchers, and experts in the field. This is where they're primarily located in academic databases. I chose RILM in particular due to the sheer breadth and importance within the field of music. So suppose that you're given a topic to write a paper about concerning Brahms' approach to composing string quartets. We're going to use this topic to model two very simple searches, one using our own analytical skills, which we're going to do now, and one using terms we find within the database's indexes. So from our topic, Brahms' approach to composing his string quartets, we're going to extract keywords that best describe the entire meaning. Using or simply inputting the entire search phrase, Brahms' approach to composing string quartets, is probably not going to be the best. I know this is something you may do with web searching, but it's not going to bring the most relevant search results. So instead, let's extract Brahms as one of our keywords and string quartets as the other. This will give us a nice broad overview of what is in the literature or what documents exist that concern this topic. If you'll notice, we have a few field select options. As you will see, once we find an actual record or a document we find of interest, these are just the different parts of records that have been indexed. So if you're looking for author, or perhaps a certain number that you found, the title of a specific journal, you would want to limit this here. But for our purposes, we are just doing text in all fields to show you a simple search using the database. I would also recommend using the title, obviously author, if you're aware of what those are. Title seems to bring more relevance though, as the words will appear within the actual title. If we come down here, we have some more search options. You want to make sure that this is checked. I will discuss Boolean in a second. Depending on how specific you would like the search to be, you can activate any of these limiters. I would, though, due to the sheer amount of languages in this database, select English, depending upon your fluency, and scholarly peer-reviewed articles. You can also, once we have searched, refine these, which I will show you to do on the search results page. Finally, before we execute the search, I want to very quickly go over Boolean operators. As you'll notice, we entered our search terms in two different search bars. And is now selected. However, there are three different Boolean operators, or, not, and. And simply tells the database that we want it to return all records that contain the words Brahms and string quartet within all text fields, or whichever fields that we select. Or, well, obviously, the meanings are similar to that in English. We'll return records with Brahms or string quartet, either or. So we're going to get a lot more results with or. Not is obviously Brahms, those records that have Brahms but not string quartet. But we're just going to keep it and. So we're now going to execute our search. So as you can see, we have returned a nice small collection of articles. Usually, depending on what you enter, you may get thousands. However, this is a nice set to begin with in synthesizing what's in the literature for your topic. And as I said before, on the left-hand side, under the Refine Results heading, you are able to then again, for example, if you retrieved hundreds of results or thousands, you could further limit your search to include more specific criteria that'll let you more easily navigate. Again, I would recommend language and publication dates, as well as document type, since we are looking for articles and not other things. So as you can see, we have gotten some relevant hits. Now let's learn how to actually examine what we've got. If you click on the heading of an article or book that you find to be most appropriate, you will be directed to a record, as we call it, that displays all information about the paper. As we mentioned before with the fields, you will see these now. So the significance of selecting the appropriate field that the information you're searching for is very important. Do note the subject terms as well. By using these, you can find similar results, and I will show you in just a moment how we search for these if you're not sure which terms you need or are not aware of which ones are actually indexed within the database. Finally, before we move on, do note that by clicking the PDF full text, it will download this entire article on a PDF. If this is not available, there will be an icon with UK libraries on it. You will click this and it will take you to the location where the PDF is held. As you can see, this record though only contains identifying information, so this will let you know if you want to in fact download and use the article for your own research. Do also note that you could, it says remove from folder, but if you wish, you can add this to your own personal folder. You can manage this here with what you save to it, and I will note one final thing, that you could also save by going to the share button here, your entire search results. So if we were to click this, it would save our 17 relevant hits, and at a later point you go back and review those, delete them, whatever fits your needs. However, we're going to quickly return to our new search, and then if you notice, we have a couple of options here, but the names and subjects and instrument families are more or less a way to browse for terms that are held within the database. Since we know ours, we are going to go to the More tab and to Indexes. And as I said, I would view this as an index in the back of the book. Under the Select menu, we're going to select Subject Terms. And as you will see, we will type in the terms that we searched with prior, except this time we're going to know what records are attached. So as you can see, Brahms is combined with several other keywords, or subject terms actually, not keywords, that we can use to get very specific, and you can even see how many records are attached to this particular subject term. By clicking the box and hitting Add, we will add this automatically to our search bar. We will now search for string quartets to add. And just as we added Brahms, you will again click and hit add. And as you can see, it's already automatically put our Boolean operator there. However, we're going to switch that to and. And then we will search as normal. My apologies. So we want to leave or. And that just illustrates how powerful the Boolean operators can be. So we do have a nice collection of results. And again, you can use the refine results options to limit the amount of records to fit your needs, so they're more manageable to go through. At this time, this is the conclusion of the RILM tutorial. I hope that you found it informative. And if you have any other questions, please do comment and leave suggestions. Thank you.